All right, guys, we ready?
Ready.
So ready.
All right, so this is our first Facebook Live for our weekly meeting, and before we get started with clients, let's just talk about what we've each got going on right now and some of the things that we're paying attention to. So, Danielle, in the world of social media, what do you got going on?
Something fun I'm doing this week. Friday is National Selfie Day. So I reached out to all of our clients to try to get photos with staff, doctors, and also patients if they want to participate. So that's a good opportunity for organic engagement on social media. So that'll be fun.
I actually have a bunch of selfies that I took as part of.
Oh, I got that one. That one's
You got
great.
that one already?
We actually need to take our team selfie as well.
Kevin took a bunch of those. So
That's awesome.
So I think that, I don't know about you, but I'm on the marketing email from the clients, and I have gotten a ton of selfies already from people because they're pushing it.
Yep.
So I'm doing this week. I was at 3 offices yesterday during Trumpomania, avoiding downtown, and then I was at 2 offices today doing the PX 2.0 graduations with folks. And we've been handing out the murals plus the certificates. Fun fact, we had a handful of people whose names were spelled wrong, but that is not something that was on us. That came
HR,
from
right?
the HR department.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that's something to pay attention to. And then I noticed when whoever did the mail merge on the certificates, the ones that we printed, if somebody had a hyphenated long last name, letters got left off. So something to pay attention to. But I'm gonna say that the employees were super stoked, and they were super excited. And the part that made the graduations the best is we had like a big wall thing that said like graduates, so they have like a backdrop, like a step and repeat.
That's cool.
And then they
Did we make that?
no, we ordered it on Amazon for like $9,
Okay.
which is awesome. So tomorrow when we do the big one for the 100 employees, like that's gonna be there.
Fantastic.
But the part that made it is we played commencement ceremony music. So when they walked in, people were super excited. So I think when they do the generational training in the fall, that we have to come up with like a lanyard or something to show like the graduate, now they're going into their graduate studies or something like that. So we need to start thinking about what we can do because the employees were super engaged. And the stickers for the graduating with honors were really well received, and we had one office that had like 5, and out of the other 4 offices that we did, we had 1 person that had it.
Really?
Yeah, so I think that there's something to be said about it and celebrating the small wins.
Yeah.
And this is like one of those perfect examples because the employees became super engaged, and now maybe down the road there's like a train the trainer thing.
Well, it's nice too because if they have that sticker, one that kind of helps like identify potential leaders, and then they get to show it off, and they're like, "Oh, I got this little thing that nobody else got."
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we did the pins, the buttons
Yep.
that said patient experience, and then the ones that were graduated. Thank you for doing that because I know that you had to put together over 200 of them, but they had the ribbons that they say like grad 2019, and they're all wearing those right now. And I think it's good that not everybody got certificates, like because even if you didn't finish on time, you shouldn't get it.
Yeah.
And I think it's creating this like excitement for next time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So overall, it was great. But then that is giving us a reason to do all the selfie photos, which is why I think they're all sending them.
Oh yeah, they're all excited.
Oh, and the cakes were awesome. I don't know if you
I
noticed
didn't
that.
see cakes.
So yeah, let me show
I knew
you.
nothing
If there was
about
cakes, I would
that's
have
not
been
fair.
there.
Well, they'll be there tomorrow.
I would have made myself available if I
So
knew that cake
each-
was part of the
Clear my
equation.
Each practice, so I sent them the logo, and they sent it to the grocery store, and every office got a
that's
cake
awesome.
with the PX 2.0 logo.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was super exciting.
That is
So
awesome.
it was good, really well received. Training's been good. I finally got the exit surveys back. I want to talk about that on Friday. I got the exit surveys back from all the managers
And,
and
employees,
from
right?
the employees too. So I think there's a lot of good stuff for the next one they're rolling out.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you got, Corey?
I've been working on actually rolling into what you were saying about the selfie day and Facebook and everything. A live Facebook Q&A that we're doing with one of the clients. So I'm in the process of turning my Mac into a giant like switchboard that you'd see at like a production studio, and figuring out what cables go where to basically run 3 different cameras and do kind of like an elevated Facebook.
How are you
Live.
going to do that? Because we're going to be mobile. You won't have your Mac.
So it can actually run from a laptop, which is awesome. So
So
and
I
then
can
it,
grab Josh's laptop?
yep, and then it streams right through this program, and then it bounces from that straight to Facebook.
And
I
it's not
can-
just Facebook, it's
right. So it's Facebook, it's
Periscope.
Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, we can kind of
Okay.
broadcast everything all at once, and then all the comments feed into this little thing on the dashboard. So when we have our moderator, when questions come in, he's actually gonna be able to give them straight to the doctor. He can answer them live. So it's kind of like a big Frankenstein experiment at the moment, but so far so good.
It sounds like everything else we do where we duct tape it together.
Yeah, I mean, that's
The
how all
best
stuff
way
gets
to
done.
do something is to just figure it
You
out.
gotta dive in.
And then-
That's it.
Yeah.
How are we going to get people to the Facebook Live?
So what's nice is we can actually schedule the Facebook Live a week out. So it's actually going to be next Wednesday at noon. So we're going to send that out, I think, probably tomorrow.
Mhm.
There's also emails going to patients. I think it's like a 20,000 something list that we have. And then we got a couple flyers we're going to throw up in the offices. And then we're going to do some social that kind of preempts it, specifically
Countdowns and the Instagram stories.
on the stories. Yeah, we need to
Facebook
talk about
stories.
that too.
Yeah. We talk about a lot.
Are we doing in-office flyers?
Yeah, there's going to be a handful of them. We got them designed, approved in like 2 days. So we just need to get them printed and handed out.
Yeah, and I think we probably need to print them. And when's the last time that we can get it in our office mail? You know what we need to
In-office
do?
mail?
We need to print them today
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and have them at the
So they can-
managers meeting
Mhm.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
There's a managers
Okay.
meeting here.
Well, they're ready. We just got to print
I have a 7 a.m. doctors meeting with doctors tomorrow morning too.
them. Sorry.
So do you think that the email drip campaign for the orthopedic group will be done?
Yeah, I added everything like from where you were. I
Mhm.
went through and I updated a bunch of stuff. So it's basically ready, I think, to show.
I think that will be a good test. We'll have one in ophthalmology, one in
Mhm.
orthopedics, and then do we do one for IVF?
Not yet, no.
All right, so I think it's good because we'll see which specialties perform better, and we can go from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else new that's going on this week that we need to touch base on?
I heard about Facebook Bank
What is that?
last night. Well, Mari Smith, who's like the queen of Facebook, we've seen her at some of the conferences
Absolutely.
we've gone to. She did a Facebook Live last night talking about Facebook announced doing a cryptocurrency.
Did you watch it live?
I did watch it live.
What?
Yeah. And so I don't know too many of the details of how it's going to affect things yet, but it's going to be called Libra is the name of the currency, and basically Facebook's working on having their own virtual bank. It's going to be backed up by money, which is different from the Bitcoin, which is not
Yeah,
backed up by actual money.
I didn't watch the live thing, but I saw that like Visa's on board. Maybe
No,
MasterCard.
MasterCard, Uber, and one other I can't remember. And that like Facebook like is going to get in the business of doing loans, and it's like this whole thing. Something to watch. See how
That's
that
interesting
happens.
because I listened to a podcast last week, and I may or may not have put it in the Curiosity channel on Slack, but I listened to this podcast, and it was one that focuses on agencies, but
You did?
also
That's
I
good.
did. So it focuses on agencies, but it was talking to like a group that does data analysis and polling,
Mhm.
and so they were talking about some data that came in, talking specifically about Facebook and saying Facebook's still the big fish, but that the younger audience, even like or even your age
Mhm.
audience, you've already jumped ship. Like
Mhm.
we're only there because we have to be,
Right.
Mhm.
but that the audiences are still there. But they're saying like Facebook is struggling in so many ways,
Yeah.
and that until like that's why they're throwing everything against the wall.
Yeah, one of the main like points was that last year Facebook had all its security issues, and it's like, well, if we can't trust you with our personal information,
That's
why
a
would
good
we
point.
trust you with
Yeah.
our money? But their, I guess, answer to that is that it's not going to be
I saw
Facebook
that.
necessarily.
Yeah.
It's that they're partnering with like over 25 different partners to where it's like their
It's like
trusted partners are handling.
Yeah,
the
it's like a
security.
governing body or
So
something.
they're the go-between.
Yeah,
Basically, like
they're
they're the
face-
technology platform where it's going to get transferred, but they aren't actually like involved in the
security.
right.
So that like leads me to an idea. When I was at MGMA last week,
Mhm.
the Florida one, there's one guy, Cam, you met him last year. He's fantastic, like from a speaker standpoint. He owns a big consulting firm up in North Carolina. But they were talking about like why can't you use your credit card? Why can't you pay in advance? Why
Yeah.
can't we use Apple Pay when we go to checkout? And what is it that's keeping us from doing that? And why in the world do we not, as providers, take the money up front? Because it's the only industry that says, you know what? You come get this now, we're gonna bill you in 6 months after we figure it out.
Right.
Whereas what it should be is, here's the Apple Pay, double click,
Right.
we're gonna bill you, and if there's a discrepancy, we're gonna send it to you.
Mhm.
And why as consumers are we not willing to accept that? So we had
That's a great point.
we had a lot of conversations about it, and I really think it's not about why are we not willing to accept it,
Mhm.
as much as it is nobody has told us this is how it is.
Yeah, it's just
Well, it's like one of those things where this is the way we've always done it,
Mm-hmm.
and no one stepped up to figure out a better solution or to question it even.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot there. So we made live, or we're about to make live, our first medical marijuana website.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which
we
I'm
got
stoked
we got
about.
the green light today. It was there, you couldn't not do it.
And then we've got the concierge medicine website that's getting ready to go live. And then I think I told you guys, after paying attention to that, I've reached out to a concierge physician
Mm-hmm.
to supplement potentially my insured groups so that I can have direct access to somebody, because it's really, from a cost standpoint, it makes sense for me and I don't have to wait in line to a waiting room.
Really curious to see how that goes.
I was just gonna say, what
Like
about the inside?
So it's $75 per month.
Right.
And then if I want to do a family of 4, I can add the people for $40 each. And I get like my initial lab work and stuff
Mhm.
for free if I prepay the
Oh, wow.
$900 a year that it'll take for me to have it.
Hmm.
So I'm really like excited to hear about it and
That's
to figure out
pretty
what'll happen.
And it's close to your house, or?
It's literally a mile away,
Oh,
and
nice.
she's an MD, and she's been around for a long time. And I kind of knew about it years ago,
Mhm.
and I want to say we've even talked to her about becoming a client, and I just dropped it when I was in charge of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't follow up on any of that. So I'm really excited about it. I submitted a form. Immediately, she emailed me this morning, asked me for a couple times that would work because she wants to do a 20-minute consult on the phone.
Mhm.
So I'm going to talk to her hopefully on Friday.
She emailed you?
It said it was a doctor.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, totally stoked.
Yeah.
So that's a good stuff.
That's awesome.
All right, anybody got anything else?
I'm good.
All right, last thing, I'm going to give you a heads up. We are working on a third quarter promotion, trying to, we're going to push doing the competitor analysis because we have so many folks that are out there that want to start planning for fourth quarter
Mhm.
for when they do budgeting, and it's try to get them ahead. So that's going to be coming through the pipeline, and if it happens, we got to figure out how we're going to manage that kind of workflow.
Gotta
because-
get ready to be ready.
That's exactly it. You got to get ready to be ready. All right, guys. So good stuff. Let's turn off the camera because now we're going to focus
Secret
on the
part
things
of our
that you can't
meetings.
know about.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.